guys, my name's Kennedy Chamberlain. Welcome to my channel. If you've noticed, today I'm not wearing any makeup, and I'm doing so because we're talking about my experience on Accutane. And I wanted to show you what my skin looks like now because I'll be inserting some pictures from before, and there's definitely a big change, and I wanted you to be able to see that. And so if you're interested in what my personal experience is on Accutane because you're thinking about going on it yourself, then stick around and I'll give you some information. So first of all, I wanted to start off talking about my skin and my acne experience from the beginning. So when I first started experiencing acne, I was around 13 years old, which is pretty normal. Most people experience it around 12 to 13 because you're just starting to go into puberty. And at that time, it wasn't too bad. I had pimples, obviously. They were big and they were red and they were painful, but it wasn't all over my face. It was just problem areas like my chin and my forehead, around my eyebrows, and around my hairline. I never really had a problem with acne on my cheeks. I was lucky. So at 13, I went to my doctor and I said, this is what's happening, and he took a look at my skin and he prescribed me a topical, which was Clindoxyl gel. Clindoxyl gel worked for me for, I'd say, about 5 years until I was 18 years old. Basically what it is it's this gel, and you apply it to your skin as directed by your doctor, and by my doctor he said every night before you go to bed. And so I put it on before I go to bed, and I wake up and I get in the shower and it washes off and whatever. Clindoxyl gel worked very well for me. It basically cleared my skin. Because I got on top of my acne at an early age, I had little to no scarring at that point, and my skin was beautiful for 5 years. Obviously, I'd have a pimple or two now and then. I will try and find some pictures and insert them in this video. But other than a few pimples, my skin was great. I didn't have any pain because of acne, and I was so happy, because in high school I definitely could have had a worse experience. So once I graduated high school and I went on to college, I'd say my first year of college was my worst year for acne yet. All of a sudden the Clindoxyl gel had stopped working, which was completely discouraging, and I was away from home. I couldn't just go to my regular doctor about it, and so I discontinued the use of Clindoxyl gel completely, and my acne got really bad. It started off as a lot of tiny little bumps across my forehead, and they weren't big really, but there was a ton of them. I couldn't even count the amount of zits I had on my face at one time. And that was the state of my acne when I went home for Christmas. I went to my doctor and I said, this is what's happening, what can we do? What's the next step? And so he put me on an antibiotic. I don't recall which antibiotic he put me on, but he said, here, take this, it should help. And I got my prescription filled and I went back to school in Oakville, away from home. Taking the antibiotic didn't do anything for me at all. If anything, my acne began to get worse. And so I took the antibiotic for the time he prescribed, which was 3 months. And at the end of the 3 months, I still had a month left of school. And like I said, my acne had gotten worse. Now, it wasn't only the little bumps, which were still there, but I had big, gigantic, painful pustules all over my face. Well, not on my cheeks. Like I said, I was really lucky to not have a lot of acne on my cheeks, but on my problem areas, which were my forehead and my chin, I had giant pustules that were extremely painful and very deep rooted into my skin. So in the summertime, I went back home and I went to my doctor again and I said, obviously this antibiotic didn't work for me. What else can we do? And that was the first time we spoke about Accutane. At that point, I was still hesitant to try it because obviously it's a very severe drug and it has some pretty severe side effects for some people, and I wasn't quite ready at that point, and so he put me on another antibiotic for a month. And at the end of that month, I came back again, and my face was still broken out. I was still in pain. My self-confidence was completely shattered, I didn't even want to go out and look for a summer job. Like, I didn't want to leave the house because my face and my skin were that bad. So after that month, I went back to the doctor and we sat there and I said, I'm ready. I need this to go away. It's painful. It's destroying my self-confidence. I just can't deal with acne anymore. And that's when he prescribed me Accutane, which looks like this. This is the package. I'm covering my prescription information. This is the package. He prescribed me 3 10 milligram tablets in the morning and 3 in the evening with food, for a total of 60 milligrams per day. So as you know, Accutane has a lot of side effects, and one concern I had starting it in the summer was the fact that it makes your skin really sensitive to light. And so one thing I was very careful about while I was on Accutane was always using sunscreen. Yeah, because if you didn't use sunscreen, you could be very easily burned by the sun, and that's not good for your skin either, so I was very careful about using sunscreen. So in the first month of using Accutane, I didn't notice a lot of side effects. I did have some dryness around my lips, but I didn't have any dryness anywhere else, not on my face, not on my legs, not on my arms, nowhere else, just around my lips. One of the first side effects I did notice though was it can cause joint pain, and because I was working outside in the summer and I was moving around frequently, I found I did have a lot of joint pain in my arms and my legs, which was probably the worst side effect for me personally. In the second month, I did get more dry in other places, still not my face, but on my hands. My lips were chapped even worse, and my hair actually started to fall out a little bit. I don't have that much hair to begin with, so my hair falling out was one of the most devastating things in the world to me. But the thing is that after my second month, my acne was gone. The first month, it decreased rapidly. I probably started Accutane with 15 plus pimples on my face at a time, and over the first month it just ate away at them. They were gone. I would have probably 2 or 3 by the end of the month. It was incredible. But by the end of 2 months, I had absolutely nothing on my face. And if I did get a pimple, it was super tiny, it was white, it went away within a day. It wasn't these deep, painful pustules anymore. And so at 2 months, like I said, my hair had started to fall out. My joints were in pain, my lips were chapped, and so I decided to stop using Accutane, and that's where my face is right now. I was 2 months on Accutane. I have been off Accutane now for September, October, November, December, January. I've been off it for 5 months, and it hasn't come back, my acne. I do have some scarring now, sadly. But my skin is great. My hair is staying in my head, thank God. And I am just so thankful to Accutane for giving me my life back, because when you have dryness on your arms, or like you have other insecurities about your body, you can hide those with clothes, but with your face, that's the first thing people see. That's your first impression into the world, and I hated my face. I would look in the mirror and I wouldn't recognize who I was anymore, and that wasn't the first impression I wanted to be giving to the world. So now I'm going to be talking about some things you have to be careful about when you're on Accutane. Obviously, first I said the sun. The sun is really intense and it can harm your skin, especially when you're on Accutane and you're super sensitive to it. Another thing you have to be wary of is the fact that Accutane is really hard on your liver. And if you're of legal drinking age, like I am in Canada, then you have to be careful of the amount of alcohol that you consume. I get it. It was summer, it's a fun time, you want to hang out with your friends and have a couple drinks, but on Accutane you can't always do that. You shouldn't binge drink ever while you're on Accutane. And even just having a few, you should maybe wait a couple weeks even between drinking again. Another thing you have to be careful of is if you are sexually active while on Accutane. Accutane can cause major birth defects if you get pregnant, and so be careful, use a condom, use birth control. I mean, use that anyway, but when you're on Accutane, try not to get pregnant because the risk of birth defects is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's in the 90s, I believe. And the last thing that you have to be careful of while you're on Accutane is, like I said, your liver. Monthly, you have to get blood tests when you're on Accutane to make sure that your body is still working right. That's how severe this drug is. And so take care of your body while you're on Accutane, because is having nice skin really worth permanently destroying your liver? That wasn't something that I ever wanted. That's why I was weary of taking Accutane in the first place, is the fact that I knew how dramatic it could be on your body, and that wasn't something I wanted. I didn't want to permanently destroy my body just to have nice skin. Luckily though, it only took me 2 months to clear up my face. I am so grateful of the fact that now I have clear skin, and the fact that I didn't permanently damage my body with Accutane. It didn't harm me. And now I can be confident and live the rest of my life the way that I want to, and go to class with no makeup on, and heck, go anywhere with no makeup on. But yeah, like I said, I was lucky to only have to do it for 2 months. A lot of people have to do it for 5 or 6. And like I said, it's really extreme on your body. So if you're going to go on Accutane, make sure you talk to your doctor extensively about what can happen to your body. And just be careful, because it's a powerful drug and it's not something to just play around with. Anyway, now I love my skin. Even though I have scarring, it's so smooth. It's incredible to think of where I was a couple months ago. Well, not a couple months now, almost half a year now, but to think of where I was in the summer and where I am now, especially in my confidence, is amazing to me, and I can't wait to see what the rest of life brings. Anyway, thank you for stopping by and watching this video, and I'll see you when I see ya. Shut up. Whew. Oh, there's hair. Okay. We good though? Fix my hair. Fix my sweater. Fix my life. Fuck, I'm gonna do my intro again. Pull my pants. Oh, my hair is knotted. Hi guys. Oh. There's voices in the hall, 1 second. Oh, ow. Okay.